There we are. Welcome everybody to Down the Middle. We're a little late, but we can explain. Actually technically we're a week late, but we're just flipping it for you. And you may notice the game looks a little different.
Just a little bit. I having PC issues.
You're having PC nightmares.
Yeah,
This is great though because the mouth is moving.
I know, but it's like my head is moving back to
Yeah, no,
forth.
there is
Like
like
I
kind of this
like,
weird like
yeah. It's like I don't understand why the camera doesn't work on this. Like, it's not that old of a PC. It's maybe
anymore though. Like they
like
get so old so fast.
I know it's like I built this one in 2013.
Oh, that's pretty old by today's standards. Like
Yeah.
I literally got a I don't even remember. I think it's like a Macintosh G5 tower.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't even turn on anymore, and it
I was
sucks.
having so much issues with this one to even turn on itself. I had to
Yeah.
use only 8 gigs of RAM.
Ooh,
That's when it will work on this thing.
that's adorable. Yeah. So actually, that's why I thought Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up was lost because it was on that computer, but it turns out I had an external hard drive, and that's where I stored them. So I was like, yes, and that's why you almost got a new episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up, but instead, we're going to talk about the Royal Rumble because it was awesome. But right before we get into that, this podcast tonight is brought to you by our friends at Pogo and our friends at Stevie Wicks. More on them later. But we're here for the Rumble, and we were talking before we went live. Uh,
Yeah,
pretty good, pretty
it
good.
was good.
Not
It was good.
not
It was not much to complain about. I would say honestly, I felt more, I don't know, like disappointed with the lack of surprises because I always look forward to the surprise. That's like the number one thing I look forward to when it comes to
yeah.
the Rumble.
There were some good surprises, but I personally to me last year's was better. Not to say this year's was bad. And I
Hmm.
mean, it was in my hometown. And you may ask yourself, why were you not there? I said, well, um, because when tickets were on sale, I didn't really care to go. And then by the time I cared to go, there were no tickets left. So, and it sucks because I'm like less than 10 minutes away from the arena. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it would have been nice. Theoretically, I can walk. It's a long walk, but theoretically, I could have walked there.
Uh-huh.
Or biked. I probably would have biked, but I don't have a bike. So anyway, Royal Rumble. We started off hot though with the women's Royal Rumble match, and we started off with Io Sky, which we're always happy to see Io Sky and Liv Morgan, and I'm always happy to see Liv Morgan. So
Yeah, I
that was
was
that was good.
I was surprised that part, like that they start off first. Them two. I thought they would
They
have been
they
much
started
later.
hot. They started hot, yeah. And then Roxanne Perez joined them in short order,
Yeah, yeah.
followed by Lyra Valkyria, who had wardrobe difficulties.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, oh, oops.
I felt really bad for her.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Liv Morgan deserves some credit
Oh, yeah, she
for,
kicked her or
yep,
pushed her.
she
Yeah,
pushed her into the corner.
yeah.
And that's one of those things where kind of like the Snoop Dogg at WrestleMania thing, like it's obvious what they're doing, but at the
Hmm.
same time, what else you gonna do?
Yeah, I was wondering if she told her to do that or she just did it on her own.
I,
I
I think
didn't.
she I think she
I,
did it on her own.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think when
which
she knows, she did it.
yeah, I felt so bad for Lyra because I
Yeah,
mean, freak accident. There's nothing about that top that should have come undone. Like it was a
yeah.
surprise to
Hmm.
everyone. And she could not get that thing to reattach. And then
Yeah,
I don't know if you saw, but one of the refs actually ran over,
yeah. I saw him. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the
He must
camera
have thought.
guy, the
Yeah,
poor camera guy, had one of the most awkward angles so that Lyra wasn't on screen, but it was
yeah.
so weird.
It was so cut off.
Yeah, because they never do a wide shot of the ring that's not centered up like that. So it was just really weird. I'm kind of
Yeah.
surprised they didn't just cut to one of the other cameras, but hey, I mean it's on the
Hmm.
fly. So kudos to Liv and Lyra for figuring that out. We were very soon after that joined by Chelsea Green, which I mean Kelsey's great. I have no problem with Chelsea, but
Same here.
not really much was happening. And then B Fab came in, and yeah,
Yeah.
things. Look, I don't like to. I really don't like to critique in ring work because I'm not a wrestler, but
Yeah, but you can still could do it. Like, it's you could tell when someone's good at something when someone's not, no matter what it is.
it's not to say she won't ever be good. I don't. Which I mean, and to be fair, the Rumble's kind of a good match to throw somebody in because worst case scenario, you just put them in the corner and kick them and then throw them over the rope. Like, but
Well, and also I would say her size is kind of like a disadvantage. She's really tall. Like
she's
she's super
very
tall.
tall. Yeah.
So it's kind of like awkward like movements because she has to like bend down to like reach the other girls.
Yeah.
So
But that's another thing too. Sometimes when you see people on TV, it's really you don't really get a sense of how big or small they actually are,
absolutely.
and until you see them next to someone who's significantly taller or shorter than them,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like I have to remind myself all the time, like Zelina Vega's like 4'10", 4'11". She's under 5 feet.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't,
Like
yeah, you don't necessarily see that unless she's standing next to somebody who's really tall. Like in her match with Rhea Ripley in Puerto Rico,
mhm.
you got a sense of how the height disparity there. I don't want to call her
Yeah,
short because I like Selena Vega a lot, but she is vertically challenged.
yeah.
It is a fact. Um, and then I feel ashamed because like I should know who this person is, but then Ivy Nile came in, followed by Zoe Stark and Lash Legend.
Oh, she's from NXT. She's
Yeah,
like
Lash
in a
Legend.
tag team.
But like I literally, oh, Ivy Nile, I know who she is. Never mind.
Yeah, she's
I just
with
didn't.
Chad
Yeah,
Gable.
yeah, she's with Chad Gable. Oh, never mind. Take back what I
Yeah.
said. No, I absolutely know who Ivy Nile is, and she's awesome. Like
Yeah, I like
she,
her a lot.
yeah, she
It,
does great, great heel, great heel. Because
she's a good worker.
she's my favorite kind of heel because she's the one that can talk shit and back it up.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of heels because it's like don't get me wrong, the cowardly heel has his or her place, but I like a heel that can back up what they're what they're saying because it makes it all the more sweeter when the baby face finally triumphs because it's like no, this means something. As we
Yeah.
saw, there was a moment that came later, but then Bianca Belair comes in, steals the show. Except, there's one spot I hate it. I absolutely hate it so much when okay, what's the how do I want to say this? When they do a spot
Hmm.
and then repeat it. Two is the
Oh, okay.
maximum. Two is the maximum before it starts to get stupid, and even then sometimes it's stupid.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair did the corner spot like 6 times, which means everyone in the ring is a moron because they
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
they
It
just
does.
saw this happen to someone else and they somehow and I understand why they do it because they're trying to make Bianca look good, but there's better ways. Bianca really doesn't need help looking good. So, I don't know. If I were an agent, I wouldn't have sanctioned that, but I'm not an agent, so
That's what I was thinking too. It was like I
it's
could see
too
doing it
much.
once or twice, but when they constantly do it over and over again, it's too repetitive.
That kind of spot, I could see doing it twice just to make Bianca look tough.
Yeah.
By the time you got to the third, then it felt choreographed. That's what it was. That's what I'm trying to say. It felt more choreographed than
Hmm.
it should have because everyone has to cooperate. It's the PWG spot where the finger in the butthole thing. Like
Oh yeah, I remember.
it's
Yeah,
so
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah.
Like not to mention you all share a locker room, and it makes me think that you're not just getting changed in there. But anyway, then we're joined by Shayna Baszler, Bailey, and Sonya Deville. And now there's some team ups happening now because Sonya, as we know, it's Sonya Deville, Shayna Baszler, and then who's the other girl in
Zoe
there?
Stark.
Zoe Stark. Yeah, who was already in the ring because I knew they were all in there. By the way, I
Yeah.
like Zoe Stark.
Yeah, she's one of my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, she's got a real. I'm not saying she's not pretty. She's got an interesting look. It makes you take
It's
notice.
rough, but
Yeah,
not rough in a bad
I
way,
I
but
know what you
like,
mean. It
yeah,
like hardcore badass. Yeah,
exactly.
yeah. And
Like
plus,
she's
I mean,
been
she's intense. Like
places.
she's fun to watch. I pay attention to her man. She's been places. Studded leather may or may not have been involved. But then Maxine with two X's, Dupree, has
Yeah,
a few moments. Tribute to Otis, which again,
yeah, the reverse squirm.
yeah. I did. It was kind of cool seeing her stand up to Ivy
It
Nile.
was.
Yeah, good baby face moment. Then we're joined by Naomi, who's always fun,
Hmm.
and she and Bianca are no, they're the tag team champs right now.
Yeah, they are because Jade's not in the picture no more.
Yeah, she got injured, didn't she?
I have no idea. I think so. I think
I
she was
think she
injured.
got I think she got injured, yeah, because she's not been on TV. And then Jada Parker, another NXT personality, joined, and then followed by Piper Niven, who I mean, she was there.
Yeah.
And then who somebody who is one of the most underutilized, underrated female wrestlers in the history of WWE, Natalia, jumps into the ring. And
At this point, she's just there to be there. She's happy that they call her, and she got to get in the ring for once.
I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb, having never met or talked with Natalia.
Hmm.
I think you're right. I think that around Total Divas time,
Yeah,
I think that's what ended up keeping her in the company is because it's like, well, at least I'm on a TV show.
I
Um,
absolutely believe it. Also, like she does a lot of stuff like online too. She has like her own YouTube. She does it with her sister sometimes. So
yeah,
I I think
my
that kept her in.
yeah, my thing about Natalia though, she's one of the few people who even now, I'll be brutally honest, even now, if Natty left WWE and went to either Japan or somewhere like AEW, not TNA because now they're kind of connected to.
Hmm.
I mean, she could go do some great stuff in TNA, be a little bit rougher, bring back a little bit more of that Neidhart
Yeah.
legacy, you know. I think AEW she could really shine if she did, which I get it because I've come to understand that Natty's a bit of a sweetheart, but we've seen her do this in the ring before, like channel some of her dad in a place like AEW for a couple years, get more of a rough and tumble reputation
Hmm.
persona. Then I think she could come back and do some good stuff, but kind of like Dana Brooke, where which is she even in? I don't even
Yeah.
think Dana is she in WWE anymore.
No, she
I didn't
been
think so. Yeah.
got fired. She's in TNA.
Oh, oh, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
she's Ash by Elegance.
wait, that's Dana Brooke?
Yeah, yeah, stupid name. Ash by Elegance.
Wow. Okay, they're not doing any better. But
No.
like, go travel back in time in your mind. Do you remember when Dana Brooke debuted in NXT?
Yeah, yeah. Like she
Like,
was spunky. She was good.
she was
Yeah.
a walking badass, and they played up her bodybuilding. They played up her
Yeah.
athleticism.
Yeah. Or even when she was with Charlotte, she was like Charlotte's
Yeah,
bodyguard in a way.
yeah, yeah. She at least had that air about her.
Yeah.
Why they never teamed her up with Natty long term and made a tag team, I don't understand. But
It
hey, oh, Ash by Elegance is a terrible name. Oh,
is.
that's
It's
awful.
like Chanel number 5 or something.
That's at least kind of clever. And then,
It is, but I'm like they name her like after a perfume or something.
yeah.
Like,
And then
yeah.
what's the one Slamovich? I can't remember the first name.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that one's funny.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one's fun. That one's fun.
To me, Natty should be more like or if she wants to, like do like what Dolph did. Like he has like
Yeah,
a like she was like or she is like the female Dolph, where she is great in the ring, but she's been kind of everywhere, so and
yeah.
done
Well,
everything.
what I would suggest if I had my druthers, and other than removing Tony Khan as Booker of AEW. is I'd offer her a deal to come into AEW, and basically her whole persona is, listen, like I'm coming from the big leagues, but I just cannot stand watching the nonsense that's coming out of your women's division, and you're giving women's wrestling a bad name. And I want her to just throw everyone she gets in the ring with, just throw them until they can't stand anymore. And
Hmm.
then put them in the sharpshooter and watch them scream. Like that's your match for the first few months. Just come in and squash people. And then you put her in a program with some of the heavier hitters. She could have a great program with Nyla Rose, not Nia Rose.
Yeah, or even like a Britt Baker if they have like good chemistry
Yeah,
and
but I
somebody wants
mean,
to sell.
somebody. Boy, would that elevate Britt Baker though.
It would.
But doesn't matter because Natalia's spotlight got stolen yet again when Jordan Grace entered next. And to be fair, and I've said this before, I'll say it again. I don't really care for Jordan Grace as a person,
Hmm.
but
Same here.
I cannot deny her stuff in the ring. My dog is
Yeah.
shredding something. It sounds like cardboard. What are you doing? Stop me. Don't trip over that. You come here. That. Okay, you're still there, just swaying away.
Yeah, just in the wind. Nice breeze. That's an
Oh
awesome
god.
shirt.
Yeah, I know, right? I've loved this since it since old KO came to NXT.
Yeah.
It's so simple and cool. And it actually looks like it's not duct tape.
Okay, I was just gonna
Wow.
ask, is it real?
No, it's not, but it looks real, doesn't it? Oh,
It does,
mirrored. Yeah.
does.
That's why I
Yeah.
like it. And I love it because it's like it's not an obvious wrestling shirt. Like if you don't know who Kevin Owens is, and on the back it says "Never Stop Fighting" in
Oh,
the
okay.
uh, duct tape again. But like,
Uh-huh.
it's kind of a cool looking shirt,
Oh,
regardless
it
if you
is.
know. Yeah. So, and actually, fun fact: I was wearing this not this shirt. I had the original one, and then they made the new one that has "Never Stop Fighting," but I got fat, so I had to get a large. But the original one I had years ago, I was at an airport and somebody from across the terminal screamed "Fight Owens, fight!" And I'm like, that's why being a wrestling fan is awesome. This dude
Yeah,
who
that's
has no
awesome.
idea who I am recognized the shirt.
Hmm.
Is awesome. Jordan looked great, and they did say she's officially in WWE now. So I saw a clip of an interview she was doing with Chris Van Vliet, and she mentioned leaving TNA. So as we figured, that was only a matter of time.
Oh yeah, she hinted well, he asked her about the Rumble,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I don't know." Like you could tell she was obviously lying. So,
Oh, I don't know. Well, it's funny because they did the same thing with AJ Lee and CM Punk when he was on because I watched this one after the fact, but he was on the Pat McAfee show.
uh-huh.
And Pat's like he's like, so is AJ gonna be there? And Punk's like, no.
Yeah, yeah, he
He
must always
keeps
say
saying,
no.
keeps saying no. She's like, no, she's at home with Larry. And they're like, oh, but it's only 3 hours away. And he was like, she's not gonna be there. And then people were disappointed when she wasn't there.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: AJ Lee was not at the Rumble. Jordan looked good, and then Michin. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to pee, and I was watching it live, so I missed her entrance, but I saw that she came in.
But I would say, okay, like I hate this because I like Michin or Mia Lim, I'm not gonna call her
Mia
Munchkin
Yim, yeah,
or whatever. But it's like she came out to crickets. It's like no one knew who
yeah,
she
I
were
know
or no
because
one cared. A lot of
well,
them did.
unfortunately, that's the problem when you put somebody like Mia Yim who has never really properly been utilized in
Nah,
WWE. When you put her with people like AJ Styles and the Good Brothers,
that made no sense.
it
That
made
was
no
just
sense, and
ridiculous.
she doesn't
She didn't
fit,
fit.
like, and it does nothing for her. It does absolutely nothing for her. And that's a shame because I like her.
I think she had better matches in TNA as Jade.
She did.
You
Yeah.
know, like I don't know what happened.
Well, the beautiful thing now is WWE can do what we predicted and said they should do. If this is a perfect time, somebody like Mia Yim, who is kind of
Hmm.
lost in the WWE shuffle, send her to TNA. Let her just, just do something different for a bit, And
I
now they have
wonder
an
will they
open
actually do
partnership.
that or not. It kind of feels like they're just going to like take whoever is popular from TNA and move them to WWE versus someone from WWE going to TNA.
Well, some
You
of the
know.
NXT talent goes down there
Oh,
to
okay, okay.
TNA. Yeah, but
Gotcha.
I don't think anybody from the main roster. Actually, I saw something that was great, and I would love to see this, frankly, is AJ Styles versus Joe Hendry for the TNA title.
Oh yeah, that'd be really cool.
That'd be, could you imagine? This would be great. Okay. It's not going to happen, but it would be awesome. AJ Styles, Joe Hendry for the TNA title at WrestleMania. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
I'd watch the shit out of that.
I would too. Yeah.
That would be awesome. And it would help TNA for sure. But
Oh yeah,
then,
yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that would be great. Not to mention, I'd love to see AJ Styles win the TNA belt one more time.
Hmm.
That would be really cool to bookend his career on. That
I
I
just
think that would be
wonder
really cool.
how does he feel about TNA? Like, is he like bitter that no, or like he may not never want to go back there again? I don't know.
Well, that's the beauty of it because if they do it at WrestleMania, he's technically not going back there. He's just winning
Yeah,
the
yeah,
belt.
yeah, yeah.
You know, and I could see him because AJ Styles said numerous times he didn't want to leave TNA. They pretty much left him no choice because
Yeah,
why are you going to take a pay cut when you carried a company on your back for 11 years? I get it.
yeah.
Never. And then he got bigger within 6 months by going to Japan, so
Yep.
and then eventually WWE. So I don't know. It is what it is. But then we got probably the biggest return, maybe the second biggest return of the night. Personally, for me, it was the biggest return. Alexa Bliss,
To me, it
who,
wasn't big because I already knew.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah,
So it wasn't
I
like it
did
was
not know.
okay.
I don't know. See, it was funny because I was listening to Jim Cornette talk about it, and Brian Last said something that's like, dude, I don't know what TV settings you had, but he was like, the crowd was silent when she came out. I'm like, bro, what? I don't know what show you're watching. That place was on fire when she came out.
Yeah, it was. It's yeah.
Like, I don't know if you've got like your audio settings adjusted weird where it like dilutes the crowd sounds. They say that a lot on that show, though. I'm wondering if they do have television settings different because they say all the time it's like, oh, the crowd was dead. I'm like, that's not what I heard. Like, I
uh-huh.
heard plenty of people, and you saw people moving too. So it's like clearly they were happy to see Alexa.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty. She has like a big following.
Yeah, and I
I'm
get
t
it.
I'm kind of tired she's in that whole Bray Wyatt thing. I wish she was back to her old gimmick
I
or just
agree.
a
I would
new
like
one.
to see. Well, because she's a baby face now. She came back, like, and the people are cheering. So I think it was just a tribute to Bray Wyatt, though, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
So I get it. I get it. But then we were followed by Zelina Vega and Candice LeRae. Uh, and not that they didn't do anything wrong, but they just kind of came in and started doing. Then Stephanie Vacker came in and got
Yeah.
got a much bigger pop than I thought she would. Not to say that she's bad, but like,
No, no, like they know who she was.
yeah, but she just kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah, her
Like when
and that
she
other girl, Gilia or
Oh,
Julia.
Julia.
Yeah, yeah, it was like crickets again. Like,
Yeah.
who are you? She looked it cool. She looked it really cool, but
Yeah. Trish Stratus got a nice that was a bit of a surprise for me, even though she's been
yeah.
back in WWE a couple times. It was nice to see. It's always nice to see Trish Stratus.
And you could tell she still has that
Yeah.
wrestling polish of like
Yeah.
The Attitude Era. She still has it, which I like it.
Sorry, not sorry. The divas of the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression era were on another level. Like, and this is something I
Yeah,
do agree with. Jim Cornette was talking about how Trish is out there at 49, which honestly I thought Trish was older,
I did
but
too.
yeah, Trish is out there at 49 years old doing this stuff better than a lot of the
A
than
lot
a
of the
lot of
talent. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it is Trish Stratus.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's Trish Stratus. Then Raquel Rodriguez came out. Like I said, I love Raquel, but her hanging around Liv Morgan just doesn't make sense to me.
No, to me, it's kind of hindering her growing. Like I don't know. To me, it's like the longer she's with or team with Liv, she's just gonna be like another henchman jobber.
Yeah, and the thing is, she's too big. Like
Yeah, exactly.
it's. But then, okay, this might have been the biggest pop of the night was Charlotte Flair.
It was a big pop. Oh yeah, yeah,
Is a big pop till she took the robe off, and then everybody went, huh?
yeah. She has a new face. Or
Yeah. Um, I do not blame Charlotte for this. That outfit was
yeah.
that was not a good that was not a good move. It just that was not a good move.
I wonder if she's like 100% healthy. One reason I say
I
because she's like 20 pounds or at least like 10 pounds less than she came back
Yeah,
than she was before.
she seemed thin and not in a good
Yeah,
way.
absolutely.
Like she
And
kind of looked
especially if
like she
I'm not sure you saw Raw this
no,
past Monday.
not yet.
Like she looked even smaller.
I did. Well, I'm about halfway through it, so I haven't seen
Okay.
her yet. Yeah, and I mean,
Okay.
all due respect and complimentary, like she looks like she just got over the flu. Like,
Exactly. Like she had like a really bad sickness or
yeah.
and just now come on the mend. I don't know.
I mean, hopefully she's good. I would imagine if they let her win the Royal Rumble, she's cleared. So,
Yeah, yeah. I kind of
then
felt
we,
sorry for her because they booed
yeah.
the hell out of her.
Well, I mean, it's Charlotte Flair. She revels in it. But yeah, that
Yeah,
outfit
yeah,
was that outfit was not a good. It was not a good move. It bunched up in all the wrong places. Just, hey, it's like the HBK brown pants. If you know, you know.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Sometimes the wardrobe is a mistake. Lyra, that thing wasn't super strappy though. I mean, that was just a fluke accident. Good thing she caught it though.
Yeah, yeah.
Then Nia Jax came out, and I think she did get booed. Followed by another interesting addition, Nikki Bella, entrant number 30. I was
Oh
not
yeah, I
expecting
actually
that.
popped for that
I
one.
popped for that a little
Not a
bit.
big one, but
It
it
was
was
kind of
like
like one of these, like, oh, okay,
yeah, yeah,
okay,
yeah. I'm
yeah.
always hoping for a surprise. I was like, oh, that is a surprise.
That's a surprise, especially since Cena's still in the company.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, oh, okay, maybe she's back because Cena's back.
Maybe she's back because
Uh,
Cena's leaving.
ah, that's true.
Nah,
Now I don't think they care about each other.
I don't know. It was cool. It was cool to see her. See, like unlike a lot of people, I don't hate the Bellas
I like
because
her better than her sister though. Like to me,
yeah,
she can.
they have their place though.
Yeah,
The thing of it is, like at that time, that's exactly what WWE was. Like the title had a butterfly
yeah,
on it. I'm
yeah.
not
Yeah,
hating
that's
them
true.
for that. I'm not hating them for that.
It was like Claire's jewelry butterfly title.
The Claire's title, yeah.
Yeah.
But that, like we said, Charlotte won the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble, and we'll see who she's gonna face. It's gonna be her versus Rhea or her versus Tiffy. And I'm gonna be honest, I kind of hope she goes for Tiffany.
Oh, absolutely. I'm tired of Rhea. No, not tired of Rhea.
I
I
know what
mean,
you,
I'm tired of seeing
we've seen
match
that
I've
match
seen
before.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think Charlotte and Tiffany could be really interesting, both in from a match perspective and just the storyline.
Yeah, it's like they both blondes, but it's like old school versus new school. So I
And I
kind of
mean,
think,
I'm always down for Tiffy time.
oh yeah.
So next we had a tag team match for it was for the tag titles, yeah. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah. It was, yeah,
DIY defending against the Motor City Machine Guns, and my first thought was, "This is great. It's 15 years too late, but it's great."
yeah, yeah. Like I
It's
don't know who they are. Like I never saw them before, so my only experience with them is here right now. Like I never seen them before.
no. Here's the funny thing about the Motor City Machine Guns, and I mean it when I say it's 15 years too late because like
Uh-huh.
they were one of the premier tag teams in TNA for years, and then they were kind of nowhere, and then I heard that they were in WWE, and I'm like, what now? Like 10 years ago, sure, but now?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
not like not that they're bad, but it's just kind of like it would
Oh
be
no,
like
not at all. You
yeah, it
could
would
definitely tell they were really good.
yeah, it would kind of be like and this is kind of a bad example. It would be like WWE signing Frankie Kazarian right now, even though I think he'd be a good addition. That's not a good example because
I was gonna
Frankie
say
would be.
I'll still pop for that. I like him.
Um, yeah, I'd pop for that. Or and I was gonna say Christopher Daniels too, and I'm like, no, I'd pop for that.
Yeah, I'll still
Although
pop for that.
it kind of would be like them signing Christopher Daniels now because he's kind of like he's been doing this since 2002. Like
Hmm.
he's been doing it a while, and it's like, okay, you're signing him now. You didn't sign him before when he was on the
Yeah, I get
Indies and
exactly what you mean.
still, yeah, I don't get it. Like I get it, but I don't get it. It's like why? I actually I understand now because Triple H was probably fighting for that for years,
hmm
and then Vince is probably like, "What? Machine guns? I don't get it. It's, it's terrible. Where are they from again? Is one of them Irish?" Yeah, but I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of fatigued from the Women's Royal Rumble, and I don't. This is so sad. I like Tommaso Ciampa. Okay, I can't stand Johnny Gargano. I don't get it.
Same. I liked him more when he was in NXT.
I
Now, not
just
so much at all.
I'm not a fan of Johnny No Face, and I understand you're gonna hate me in the comments. Gargano's the best Johnny wrestling. Yeah, well they called oh god now I'm blanking on his name Johnny Football Johnny Manziel. They called him the greatest thing ever, and then he went to the NFL and he got the shit kicked out of him. Actually, it's one of the greatest college football moments ever, and it was one of the only few times I've ever rooted for Auburn as a team because Johnny Manziel, that pompous ass that he is, out there doing money, Johnny football, bro. You weren't that good. You had receivers that didn't obey the laws of gravity and could catch your crazy ass passes. All right, but there were some Auburn defenders that one of them clocked him good, and he's never played the same since. I was like, finally.
To be honest, I have no idea what that means. I never watched football.
I don't watch pro football. I watch college football.
I
So
know.
big dude knocked him down hard.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, like ran into him very hard. But yeah, I feel the same way about Johnny wrestling. He's Johnny No Face. Like he has the same facial expression no matter what he's doing. Happy, sad, angry, in pain. And then just to share
Yeah.
another funny story, you'll get this one. There was I was dating a girl a few years ago and she'd never seen wrestling, so I was like I'm gonna test her. I'm gonna have her watch an NXT takeover because this is back when the takeovers were like better than mainstream
Oh,
pay-per-views.
yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
And it was the grudge match, the lights out match between Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa.
Okay.
And dude, I wish I could have taken a picture of the look on her face when I can't remember who busted. Somebody busted out handcuffs, and then she's
Oh,
like,
that was I think that was Johnny. I think that was Johnny.
I think it was, yeah." And then she's like, "What are they about to do?" And I'm like, "I can't defend this. I can't."
That was a
Yeah,
good match.
It
I
was,
missed
but
that.
you have to admit there's some things that happen in wrestling where our
Oh,
knowledge of
of
wrestling
course.
our knowledge
It's
of wrestling blinds us to the absurdity and or perceived sexuality of it all.
absolutely
But when you consider
from
that
all the
it's
oil
it's two
and
it's two it's two oiled up men in their underwear and one of them busts out handcuffs. In the real world,
you'll
something
call
bad's
that a
about to go
P
down.
Diddy party.
But oh, Justin says I have a professional wrestling related question. Did Hulk Hogan really get booed because the last time he was there, he was a heel? Actually, no. I'm not 100% sure on this because we didn't see this during the. I think what it was something that happened right before Hulk came out allegedly, but
Oh, like
also
I thought it was because he came out for the Trump thing and
oh
took his
that
shirt
you
off,
know that was probably it. Which
and
that was funny. That was just that was funny and sad all at the same time. Just
it was.
Hulk Hogan at the Republican National Convention just being, "What's she gonna do, brother, when Trumpomania runs wild on you?" And like, regardless of your political affiliation, it was sad to watch.
It was just as sad as when Batista, like when he came out with
Oh,
his
that was
pearl.
worse. That was worse. That was way worse.
It was.
Yeah, that was worse.
He
I can
looked it.
say.
It's
And
kind of sad that Hulk Hogan looked it more healthier than Batista.
oh, veganism's a hell of a drug. But and Hulk selling his beer now is kind of sad too. But
Oh yeah, that's what he was doing. He was going around town selling his new beer.
yes, but DIY reigned victorious. Oh, it was a 2 out of 3 falls match. Wow, they had a
Yeah,
two
it
out of
was.
three.
Yeah,
They had a 2 out of 3 falls match, tag match in 14 minutes. That seems like it was.
the first fall came really quick within the first like five
Yeah,
minutes or so.
yeah. That seems.
So you kind of once you saw that, it was like obvious what was going to happen.
Yeah. That's what we call a gimmick match for the sake of having a gimmick match. But next, thankfully, there was a good match next. Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the Winged Eagle and the Undisputed. I'm sorry, I have to laugh. It was a match for 2 titles, one of which is the Undisputed WWE
Yeah,
Championship. So the Undisputed title was disputed. And I'll be honest, I kind of hope this is a vehicle to bring the Winged Eagle belt back and just make that the WWE title. It seems like that's what they're doing.
I thought it was because to me that's the only reason why they would bring it back.
Yeah, because if it wasn't being brought back, then it's like, okay, Kevin, you can keep the fake belt. Everybody knows you're not champion. Like Taz has already done this song and dance, dude.
Yeah,
Um, it was a really good match though.
it was. I think
It was
Kevin
really
actually
good.
got hurt or like pushed by like
Man.
his eye or something.
Oh, he did. Yeah, I saw that. That was gnarly.
Yeah.
I think he's okay, but there were I guess it wasn't a power. Was it a power bomb? I guess it was technically a power bomb through the ladder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, oh, that looked like it hurt so bad. I'm sure it did.
It had to like I was
Oh,
thinking, I was like, Kevin is almost like WWE's Darby Allin
little
in a way,
bit.
like he takes like so many crazy bumps and hurt himself a lot.
I mean, it looked great. At one point, I did think he got hurt. Both of them
Yeah, yeah.
actually. There were moments where I thought, but like, because at one point Cody's head snapped back really hard, and I went, "Ooh, I don't like to see that."
Yeah, yeah. I'm like, okay, it looks good, but like it's just not worth it.
I trust them. Those are two that I trust to have that kind of a match. But yeah, there's a
Mhm.
couple moments where I thought somebody might be legitimately hurt, but Cody was victorious. And if you haven't watched that match, I highly recommend you do. But I also highly recommend listen, we know the economy's a little tough, and even a little extra money can go a long way. But thankfully, That's why our friends at Pogo can help you. Pogo, I'm sure you've seen them a lot. There's a bunch of these apps where you can scan receipts or, you get location rewards, surveys, all
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Well, Pogo's an app that I actually recommend because it has all those things, but it makes it way easier because not only does it do all of them, but most of the stuff is automatic. And you actually do, like, don't get me wrong, you're not going to get rich off this act, but every few weeks, an extra 15, $20, like, for doing virtually nothing, I'm a
That's not
fan.
bad.
And then if you use our link and special promo code in the description, you get a bonus 250 points, which is about a quarter, but hey, it's a quarter you didn't
It's
have.
worth it.
Yeah, it's a quarter you didn't have. So, and the other thing I really like is cash out is easy with no minimum cash out balance. So if you get $1, you can cash it. Well, if you can get anything, you can cash it out. But frankly, I usually don't cash out unless it's at least $15. But that's me personally. And you can cash out to PayPal or directly into your bank account. So if you shop and use PayPal a lot, just shovel it in there. You can get some free stuff. No harm, no foul. But
Hmm.
that's our first link in the description. Our friends at Pogo. And then we came to the big one, the big Kahuna, as they say, the men's Royal Rumble match. I gotta say, big fan of how this match started. I I'm glad they're doing it. I really don't understand why they're what am I trying to say? Like they're kind of giving Penta like a wish list.
Oh, oh, okay. That was the first one. I was trying to find it.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they
it was okay. I don't know. The problem I had with it was Luvic. I like him really, he's really good, but they make him look like a fool, So it's like
well,
I never like seeing that.
funny you mentioned that because the next night on Raw, um,
Yeah.
Ludwig did look like a fool. That was actually a
Yeah, I saw
really,
that. Yeah.
really except okay, so I have to go on a bit of a Penta rant here, and I here's the thing: I love Penta. I'm a big Penta fan,
Hmm.
but every single one of his matches in WWE showcases a weakness of his training, and they're working with him. It's pretty clear. There's things that he does that kind of fly more in AEW because everybody does them, but in WWE, the cracks show a little bit more. For example, his spot where he does like the handstand
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
on the turnbuckle, it takes way too
Way
long.
too long.
Way
Yeah.
too long. And it's obvious because in his match
Yeah.
with Ludwig, Ludwig is looking up at him, waiting for it, and then right before he makes impact, he brings his arms up and
Yeah, I was like, this is so awkward. Like I could see that. Like from here. Like it's
and
so
if you can do that spot, you can do that spot faster, and it makes sense
yeah.
because it's like Ludwig looks up, oh shit, it covers. But if you're just standing there waiting for it, and that happens in AEW with so many people all the time, and it's infuriating
Hmm.
because it just takes you out of it. Penta's made a couple, which I get it. I'm not cutting the guy up. I love Penta. It's a bigger ring. The ropes are different. I get it. There's been little slip ups here and there, but the biggest slip up by far, and I'm kind of surprised that they did this because Penta is clearly not ready for this level of precision in WWE.
Hmm.
The spot where only one of his feet hits the floor in the Royal Rumble when he very clearly both feet touch the ground.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, sorry, not sorry. It was obvious. He ended up not winning the Royal Rumble anyway, so like it's okay, but I mean, he both feet touched the floor.
Hmm.
I rewound it. I watched it again. I'm like, yeah, that's unfortunate. They can pretend like the refs didn't see it, but there was a referee that was standing right in front of them and could
Yeah,
clearly see it.
exactly. Yeah.
You know, I understand why they didn't just eliminate him, but honestly, that's a tough spot. It's a tough spot. That being said, I think it was really cool that Penta got to start it off with Rey Mysterio.
That was cool.
And you notice too, Penta stopped doing Cero Miedo twice because I'm sure they nipped that in the bud.
I think he does it twice on Raw. think
Well, he didn't.
some.
He didn't this week,
Oh,
but
okay, okay, good, okay.
maybe he does. I know he did it during his debut, and I'm just like, ooh. And I'm sure I'm sure they saw the glove thing, and I'm sure they were like, yeah, you're not doing the glove thing here. It's not happening. It takes way too long, and it's silly. No, but I mean, Penta looks great in WWE. He fits. He really fits.
He
And
does.
yeah,
Yeah, like I just don't know like what would be like a good match for him, like a good first few.
there
Honestly, I think Ray was really good.
it was. But here's what I love that they're doing is they're putting him in the ring with non-lucha guys, and I
Yeah.
know I'm pretty sure I know why they're doing it. It's going to help him learn the style more quickly because
Hmm.
he does have some bad lucha habits, which most luchadors do if they had a really long storied career in Mexico. Because I mean, watch a AAA show. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
People standing there for 20 seconds just waiting to catch the guy, like instead of just moving. But it's like, look, they put him in there with Gable, they put him in there with Pete Dunne, and they put him in there with Ludwig Kaiser on Monday. Now they planted a seed because I thought his match with Dunne was great. They were all good, but his match with Dunne was great. During
Oh,
his
I
match
didn't
with
see that
Kaiser,
one. I gotta
oh
watch
yeah,
that.
oh it was good. Which Pete Dunne's awesome.
Oh, it's Pete. Like he's
Oh,
amazing.
his match with Tyler Bate at NXT, one of the takeovers, is still one of my favorite matches of all time.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's like they worked a finger,
Hmm.
and it was awesome. But what was I saying? So during his match with Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne comes out to the ring, and what I thought initially was they were gonna have Pete Dunne stop Ludwig from attacking him after the bell, and I thought, oh, they're
Hmm.
gonna make a tag team out of this. That could be interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
But instead, he didn't interfere, but he also wasn't out there to attack Penta. I think they're gonna do a program around these two, and I think it's gonna be really good.
I feel like it, yeah, because they are planting the seeds for it.
Yeah, they're definitely 'cause Penta. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Penta is a weird luchador. He's a lucha. He's definitely lucha, but he's also really good at just like standard wrestling moves, like his
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
finish.
Like I would say if it's one person to like unlearn like Luchador, is him. He's like
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. Like Rey sure is a luchador, but he doesn't do a lot of that typical, luchador like Sin Cara type stuff.
Well, Penta even less so because like look at his finishing
Yeah,
maneuvers.
yeah, yeah.
He does an
Hmm.
arm bar. He does a the Penta driver, and then
Hmm.
he's got another finish that it's the it's not a package pile driver. Oh, I guess it is a package pile driver. I don't know, but anyway, they're all of his finishes are non-lucha moves.
Yeah.
So, and I'll say it again. I miss Lucha Underground, but if you want to see how good Penta really is, and he's realistically only gotten better, go back and watch Lucha Underground. It's in particular his match with Vampiro, Ultima Lucha One. He's just so
Uh-huh.
good. He also has a really good match with Io, or I guess it was Io Shirai back then, but and actually, what was her name in I don't remember what her name was in Lucha Underground, but
I have
anyway,
no idea. I
I
forgot.
can't remember. But that was a good match, great match. So many good matches in Lucha Underground. But anyway, they were quickly joined by Chad Gable, who Gable showed up pretty good in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Had a few. I did kind of dig the spot where he tried to throw four people over, and then they all managed to get back in, and they all did the super kick spot.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
See, the thing is, that's a fun spot, but it makes sense. It makes sense why these four guys who aren't on the same side would all want to super kick him at the same time because he tried to throw them all over the top rope in rapid succession.
Yeah, it kind of was like the similar to the spot was Chelsea Green did, where she kind of like threw everybody out at first and then they weren't eliminated, then they came in,
Yeah, that
so
is.
like
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. But yeah, so they basically did the same spot. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
and then Carmelo Hayes and eventually Santos Escobar joined in. I'm not hating on the guy. I've just never really been able to get into Carmelo Hayes.
No, well, one reason because he says he doesn't miss, and he's
He
been doing that
misses
since he
all the
came.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like, what's the point? Like, he came losing. Like, he came starting the main roster losing to everyone.
exactly. And I dig Santos. I like what Santos is doing. Loved him as King
He
Cuerno and
was
Lucha
great. He
Underground too.
was
Yeah.
better in NXT when he had his like whole posse.
Well, I'll be honest. I like him better as a babyface too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh.
Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Then we were joined by Otis, and then finally Braun Breaker, who just came in and wrecked everything in the best way possible. And also, I want to personally take a moment to thank Braun Breaker for what he did to the next entrance. So, okay, I'm ignorant to this. I'm not on the internet as much as some people are. Who's I Show Speed?
He's just a streamer.
But what does
Well,
he
he's a really
stream?
popular. Yeah, yeah, like on Twitch, YouTube, stuff like that. He's into like soccer.
Oh, that sounds so lame.
It was like, I don't know, a couple of thousand people watches him at a time. I don't know, it could be like 4,000 people watch him at once. So does
Doing
that Fortnite, stuff like that.
Oh, he streams games.
Yeah, games, but
Oh, okay.
also other stuff.
Uh, Braun Breaker speared him, and it was great. I
Yeah,
liked it.
honestly, this is what took me out of it because I always feel like it's giving away the spot to someone who really don't need it.
Yeah, Akira Tozawa.
I
One of these
I
days, he's
was
just gonna quit.
yeah. When he came out, I was like, okay, it's not something surprise, but I kind of understand it because Chad was in there, always was in there, so I understand it, but like to like lose against I Show Speed or get his spot taken away from,
Yeah,
uh, uh
I don't. There's a ton of wrestlers in the back, but I get. To be fair, I will give credit where credit's due. At least they made it make sense because they showed Triple H backstage and being like, "Speed, you're up." It's like what? It was like you're in the Rumble because he was right there. So I get it. I get
I
it.
went to
I don't love it, and at least he wasn't in there very long. So
yeah, yeah.
anyway, then Sheamus came in, followed by Jimmy Uso, Andrade, Jacob Fatu, Ludwig Kaiser, The Miz, and I'm speed running through them because they came in, it was fine, but they didn't really get. Jacob Fatu
Hmm.
wrecked some people, to be fair, but Jacob Fatu always wrecks people. So,
Yeah.
but then they said his name and he appeared.
Joe Henry. Yeah.
Joe Hendry showed up and he got a really good ovation.
Yeah, he did. I would say more people know him now than before.
He wasn't in very long though. Although Ludwig Kaiser, I think for certainly for this year holds the record for shortest time in the Rumble at 6 seconds. It was
Yeah,
kind of nice seeing Penta eliminate him.
I think Santino still wins. It was like
I think like one
two
or two
seconds,
seconds.
three.
Yeah, yeah. But to be fair, like I know what you were saying about Ludwig Kaiser, but he's finally starting to grow on me as a performer, and I'm not
Hmm.
faulting him. I get it; it was the booking. They needed two generic European wrestlers to be next to Gunther.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they got rid of the Italian guy.
It's funny. So did the Germans.
Ah,
It's following
too
history
soon.
kind of eerily. Like it's kind of weird. The Austrian dumped the Italians first, and then the German is sure to follow. Yeah, it's I still can't believe, man, the imagery of all that.
Oh yeah, the red coats,
Oh,
the hand signals, and the salutes.
yeah.
It's like
I mean, it was effective. It was a little too effective.
if this
Kind of.
was the Attitude Era, it would have
Oh,
been
they
like
would
even
have
more.
full
They would have went
blown
all the way.
Elon Musk salute. Like
Yeah. Oh,
would have. I'm not even gonna do it because that
I same here. Well, I
yeah,
can't do it.
yeah, you
Uh,
can. They just can't see you do it. You could be doing it right now. Let's just say that Imperium's hearts went out to everyone. Uh but Joe Henry got a nice pop and then didn't do much of anything else. Then Roman Reigns, I'm not acknowledging him. He's not doing much right now, but
Nah, he's on a break, even
he's on
though
a
he's
break.
there.
Yeah. Roman Reigns came out, followed by Drew McIntyre, and then by Finn Balor, who I think is getting ready to do some stuff.
Yep.
Think they're building him up. And then Shinsuke Nakamura came out, and here's the thing. Unfortunately, I've missed a lot of SmackDown, so I've been missing out on this like ninja gimmick that they're doing with him.
Yeah, they started a few weeks or at least about 2 months ago when he came back as like even darker Shinsuke
Can we
with
just
the makeup. They did before. They did it
yeah,
like last year or so.
but can
Like
we just can we please just let Shinsuke be Shinsuke? Like just let him be the king of strong style. Let's just like the gimmick, the artist, the ninja, the warrior. Fucking just let him be Shinsuke.
honestly, I think it may be too late for him.
Unfortunately, I think you're right.
Like if they started him out that way, sure. But now, like,
Well, and
eh,
unfortunately, they did in NXT,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, they started him out as the artist, and I knew, man, I'm like, this is so. And to be fair, Shinsuke might have wanted to change up his style because he's not young, he's not
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
ancient, but he's not young, and that style will. But interestingly enough, if you want a great match, I forget the year. I think the year was 2008, when his match with Brock Lesnar for the IWGP title in New Japan.
Okay, yeah, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, you see. Here's the thing: you wouldn't think that that would be a competitive looking match.
Hmm.
It's rough, dude. Like, it's a really good match.
Is even
Then
with Sammy when he did a match with Sammy in NXT, that was
that
good.
was
I
really
didn't know
good.
who Sammy was at that time. I didn't know like of Sammy. But I was like, wow, it made me want to watch more.
Yep. And then Jay Uso popped in. I know they're trying to do the main event Jay Uso thing. I'm not.
To me, it's just like merch. Oh, I don't get it because okay, like he gets so animated with the entrance, then he cuts a promo where he sounds like he's crying for a bit, and then he's back animated. Like, I don't know. It's like emotional like roller coaster.
Which Yeah, I know. And I mean, he's clearly popular. So this is one of those things that I'm
Oh
going
yeah,
to
yeah,
chalk up.
yeah.
I'm going to chalk this one up to I don't get it, but I'm probably wrong.
I get it. It's just that it doesn't work for me.
It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah, because like they just basically manufactured him in a way
Yeah.
where,
Not that I dislike him.
yeah,
He's always been a tag team guy to me.
yeah. Oh
So,
yeah,
yeah.
that kind of like puts in the end of the Rumble. That's why I kind of was like disappointed too.
Yeah, I was kind of the same way. But then AJ Styles came in, followed by Braun Strowman, and then
Yeah,
John
I
Cena.
I admit I kind of did pop for John Cena just a little,
I popped for Cena. See, here's
just a
the
little
thing.
bit.
Like back in the day, it was really hip to shit on John Cena,
Yeah,
but we all knew like there's a reason he had the belt for effectively 10 years. It's because
yeah,
they had nobody else for a long time
yeah.
like
That's
that you
true.
would put a company behind. I mean, and I mean Cena was a workhorse. Like
Yeah, he was the Hogan of that era.
absolutely, you could put him in the ring with anyone, and
Hmm.
he'd have a decent match. And yeah, the five moves of doom and blah 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 blah, but it
But honestly,
worked.
that's a lot of them. That's
It's
a
four
lot of
more than
them. Yeah.
Hogan had. Leg drop,
Hogan
brother.
only had two.
Yeah, leg drop and body slam. and then this.
I was just say, lay drop and go home.
Like
That's
drop
it.
go home. But then we actually got a really cool moment after that because CM Punk was the next man out, and it's going to be Punk Cena at WrestleMania somehow, some way.
Well, they are in the chamber.
Elimination Chamber, yep.
Yeah, yeah.
See, I think Punk's going to win the Chamber, and then he's going to challenge Cena. I think that's what's going to happen because
I think he
they've
has
planted
to
this. Yeah, they planted the
because
seeds.
yeah,
They know what
yeah.
they're doing. They've already laid it out, and I am here for it. Okay, I want this. I need this. Give it to me, please. Triple H, take my money. I mean, Peacock's already taken my money, but you effectively take my money. And then another thing that you'll say, take my money to, fellas, gonna take a quick break and talk about something real serious. Listen, guys, if you've got a girlfriend or a boyfriend, because we don't discriminate here at Down the Middle, Valentine's Day is coming up. Or even if you have somebody that you want to confess your feelings for, but let's say you want to be safe about it. Actually, this is not safe at all because these are Valentine's Day candles. These are obvious. You can't pawn this off as a friendship gift. But for your significant other, Stevie Wicks has you covered. Our good friends at Stevie Wicks know that Valentine's Day, you got to get them something. And who doesn't love getting candles? Everybody loves candles.
Oh yeah, I have a bunch of them. I love candles.
Yeah,
I
nobody
absolutely, they're really good.
nobody gets a candle and goes, "Ugh, a candle." Everybody goes, "Oh," and then they smell it. Thing is, when they smell these candles, they will instantly fall in love with you because these are the best candles you will ever smell. So they won't have a choice. They'll have to. I mean, theoretically, they're already in love with you because you're getting them a Valentine's Day gift. So that's not false advertising. They will continue to fall in love with you. And you don't have to just get the set here. There's more options for your Valentine's Day candles. But if you use your promo code DOWN at checkout, our friends at Stevie Wicks give you 10% off your order at checkout. So log on, get your Valentine's Day candles, and um, there's some new products coming out. A little bird told me some new products came out today that might make you feel just a little wicked.
Hmm. I
Stage,
wonder what that was.
what's up,
Ah,
Seth Franklin Rollins? It says Seth freaking Rollins, who, by the way, next entrance in the Rumble. I would actually die if that was Seth Rollins commenting on our YouTube video. I know I'll play along.
and you
Oh my
never
god, it's
know.
Seth freaking Rollins. I'm kind of surprised they haven't started saying Seth fucking Rollins on that. Oh, they can't because he's on SmackDown occasionally, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why. Thanks for joining us, Seth freaking Rollins. You were in the Rumble. You did some stuff. You're in there for 17, a little over 17 minutes. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending upon how you feel about him, you were followed by Dirty Dominic Mysterio,
Yeah, it was.
CM Punk, OTC, weird face that kind of looks like this. I don't know what you're doing here. You're sure one of these. I don't know why. Were you disappointed, sir? You were eliminated by CM Punk, so
That's a good one.
yeah,
Hmm.
telling that story. That's okay though because Dominic was eliminated by Damian Priest. When did Damian Priest come in? Did I miss it?
I was looking at you, I was like, like he disappeared there.
Oh, he
I
wasn't
don't
in the
remember his
Rumble.
entrance.
Damian Priest wasn't in the Rumble.
Yeah, he was
Where? When? When? What?
towards the end. Yeah.
Oh, he's not in yet. I get it. I gotcha. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, viewers. I had a lapse in brain activity. Because Dominic was followed by Sami Zayn and then by Damian Priest, who then eliminated Dominic Mysterio. I don't know how Dom's keeping up the heat, but oh my god, it's so good. It's so good.
I wonder how long it's gonna last.
I don't
Or
know.
what's
He's
gonna
good
be
at he's good
next.
at generating that heat.
Oh, yes, yeah.
He's like nuclear heat. Uh, then LA Knight came in after Priest. Yeah. I don't think he stayed in very long though.
No,
Yeah,
it's
about
like I
five
don't know.
minutes.
He's really good, but I still feel like they like kind of dropped the ball with him.
Oh, they
Like
did for sure. They
after
should have.
Bray
They should have.
died,
Yeah, yeah. They should have put the title on him when he was white hot.
absolutely.
I said it was weird at the time. I'm like, why are you doing? Because like LA Knight
Hmm.
can't win now, but you're just gonna extinguish it turns out we were right. Then Logan Paul came in at the end and was eliminated by Cena. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah.
But ultimately, Jey Uso would go on to win the Rumble, coming in at number 20. Um, I was a little surprised by that. Not gonna lie.
When I saw like the ending part, I was like, I had a feeling it was. I was like, okay, this is probably was the plan from the beginning. Well,
Oh, I
obviously it
mean,
was,
clearly, but yeah, eh.
but
It's al- it's almost like they scripted it. It's almost like they had the story before they started. Yeah. Overall, I enjoyed the show. I've been really digging Raw on Netflix though. It's been good watching.
I what did I finish? Well, I saw most of it of this past Raw.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it. I need to finish it. I'm trying to do better, guys. I'm trying to get caught up on my wrestling. I'm working on it. Um,
Well, my PC broke, so
oh, you
I
watch
watched
you
what I
watch it on.
can.
Yeah, I didn't realize you watched it on your computer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm old school, man. I can't. I really don't like watching stuff on my computer screen. I especially really don't like watching stuff on my phone screen. I like my TV. I'm an
I
old
don't even
man.
own one. Like I threw away mine years ago.
Yeah, but you probably have a big screen though for your.
Yeah, 27. I have three 27-inch monitors.
There you go.
It's
Yeah, see that's acceptable. Actually, it's funny. I might show you guys my T. So okay, a few years ago, I bought. It was actually the first TV I've ever bought new. I've always bought them used before because
Mhm,
I'm cheap as shit. Um, but I had $1,000 and I said, you know what? This is my TV money. I'm gonna go out and buy myself a nice TV
mhm.
because my TV at the time broke finally. It couldn't keep going. And so I said, I'm going to go buy myself a nice TV. And I managed to find the one I liked happened to be on sale, so I saved $200. Uh,
That's cool.
the room I bought it for was a lot bigger than where it is now, and it was kind of obnoxious for that room. But I caught a how big is it? I think it's a 70. No, I think it's an 82 inch.
That's too big for my eyes.
It's a big
Like,
TV. It's in a very small room right now though. Like it takes up most of the wall.
but that would be cool to watch movies on. I would
I
love
love it,
that.
dude. It's fun to watch wrestling on.
Mhm.
It's great. I love it. I love it. It's a really obnoxious TV, and I'm here for it. I dig it.
I threw mine away because like I was doing marketing for about 7 years, or whatever. After the fifth year, I'm see the same commercial I'm working on at work, and when I get home, I see the same commercial. I unplug the TV, threw away the antenna and all of the cable stuff, and never look back.
I will say I have I
I
haven't
couldn't
I
take
haven't
it.
had I haven't had cable for years. I don't miss it because everything I
Like,
want to watch I can stream.
oh yeah, same here. Like once I have the computer, it's like that is my TV. If I want to see
Yeah,
a movie, I can just download it or stream it or whatever.
yeah, what have you? Yeah, it's so easy now. I know some people that still have cable, and I'm just like, why?
Hmm.
Like you're paying for 1,200 channels, you might watch six.
Yeah, exactly. And there's so many other free channels like
Yeah,
Tubi, Pluto,
like hell,
probably
dude,
some
my
others.
TV came with an antenna inside it, so I can watch locals if I really want to
Oh,
watch.
that's cool. That's
I
really
never
cool.
do.
Yeah.
I never, like, dude, I shit you not. I got so many channels built into that TV. It's an
Hmm.
LG. There's a channel that does nothing but play 24 hours of Baywatch. I am not kidding. Found that by accident.
That's pretty cool.
There's another channel that plays Yu-Gi-Oh
Oh, really?
24/7.
Oh, that's like
Yeah,
uh Pluto. Like the
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh channel
basically.
I like
Actually, I
watch.
think it might be powered by Pluto now that I think about it. Or there's some
Uh-huh.
kind of agreement, but like it's obnoxious. Even the commercials are just for Yu-Gi-Oh. There's no other commercials. It's just Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's
Who the
cool.
hell wants to watch that much Yu-Gi-Oh? Actually, I
Exactly.
get it now. If you have children, it's probably great because the Yu-Gi-Oh never stops.
I used to like be really deep in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like not so much now the newer stuff, but
Yeah,
like
I
the
liked I
first,
liked
second, third seasons. I liked it.
basically if it had Yugi in it, I was down for it. But man, because it was funny,
Yeah.
I started rewatching it in my 30s. Those kids are dumb.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like
It
they're
was
all
even when
they're
I
all
was
a
a kid, I
bunch of
was like,
idiots.
you could just hit the guy. Like
It's like, you can punch him, right? Like you can just run over to the side of the thing and kick him in the dick. Like he
the
can't he can't
only
steal
time
your
I
cards.
saw something close to that was like Yugi versus Weevil. And he got so mad, like a dark energy came out of him, and
Yeah.
he kept like hitting him or something. That's the only time I ever saw that. Or when like
No,
Kaiba
I
threw
just
away Zoya.
no, and I understand why they did it because ugh, they gotta explain the rules of the game in the show in a way
Yeah,
that
yeah,
feels
yeah.
organic, but like it's just so stupid.
It
Everybody's
is.
so dumb. Like these are allegedly the best players in the world, but they fall for like the most basic stuff.
Like, oh
It's
no, the
wild.
monsters are in
Oh
trap
no!
card.
You've activated my face down trap card that I had to put down on the field that I could use because I
Like
totally have a trap card there. Like it's obvious. Oh
like I
no!
hate the explain of like what the card does. It
Yeah.
takes two like it's Monster Reborn. Like
Could you
everybody
could
knows
you
what it does.
exactly could you imagine playing in a tournament where like as you're playing with the best players in the world, they explain what the card does as you're doing it, when usually the reaction is just because it's like yeah, it's like you said, Monster Reborn. It's like
Like,
it's in the
it
title.
says it in the name.
It's like, I love how it's like Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn. What does that do? It allows me to take a monster from my graveyard and put it back onto the field. It's like, oh yeah, Monster Reborn. So, and it's not like it doesn't say what it does right there on the card.
Yeah,
Totally a thing. And then like when it's one of the early episodes, like Yugi gives his only one series ever made Exodia cards. He just lets some dork he's never met before hold them.
yeah. Hey, Kaiba, guy that looks sketchy and
Yeah.
angry.
Hey,
It's like,
sketchy person I've never met before. Yes,
here's my
you can
priceless
totally
card.
have my priceless, one of a kind set of cards that will automatically win me any games, which would be very handy going into a tournament in which my grandfather's life is at stake. You know, yes, stranger, sketchy stranger I've never met before. And then he acts surprised when he throws him into the ocean.
Like,
And then
really?
doesn't Joey jump in after him, if I remember correctly?
He might have. It's been
I'm
so long
sorry,
since I
dude.
saw
You like no, you will die. That's the open ocean, my friend. You have zero
that.
chance. You have zero chance of surviving, much less finding five trading cards in the ocean. You will die.
Out of everybody, my favorite was Bakura because like he was evil and like
Look,
he was the
yeah,
only like kind of like person who tried to do something. Like everybody else do something stupid or
yeah. Bakura was like the only smart person in that show.
yeah, like I like them a lot.
Yeah, he was interesting because you never really knew when Dark Bakura was going to come and screw everything up.
Yeah.
It was a legitimate surprise. That's our anime portion of the of down the middle. But yes, let us know what you thought about the Royal Rumble. Are you happy with Jey Uso and Charlotte winning? Are you happy with Cody winning? Did you even watch DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns? Let us know in the comments. And tune in next week where you'll get the latest episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up going back in time. And then the week after that, we'll talk about something wrestling related. We'll figure it out. Depends on what happens.
Yep. And I guess my face will be
I
back
was going to say, and you'll
shining.
have Hakeem's real face. I don't know what this is now. It kind of feels like a mixture between like Kanye and Lady Gaga. I'm kind of digging it. It's, it's the blue. It's the blue eyebrows that are doing it for me.
I had like 5 minutes to put it together. So I was like, whatever.
That's awesome though. So like that's a thing that Zoom does. You can create that little avatar.
Yeah, yeah, like it's under video and it says choose Avatar.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I kind of dig it.
Like, could
I might do it next week just for fun.
be a box.
I kind of dig it. Not gonna lie. I kind of dig it. All right, everyone. Well, thank you for enjoying this episode of Down the Middle. Make sure to check out Pogo. Get your Valentine's Day candles through Stevie Wicks in time. You still have time, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks, and then you'll see my face only a little bit in the next episode of Weekly Wrestling Wrap Up next week. Until then,
See ya.
watch.